Welcome to Breaking Ties, a new you after divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support for when the divorce process has finished. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics related to post-divorce. Together, we'll explore the emotional, financial, and legal aspects of life after divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello and welcome to Breaking Ties, a new you after divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor, certified divorce financial analyst professional. And we're right in the middle of Mike's relationship series after I've been saying that I've gotten out of a long-term relationship with my girlfriend and, we parted ways friendly and amicably kind of thing. And so not everything works out the way you think to, even on a second relationship. But really, what we want to talk about today are, friends, family, kids, with regards to coming out of the divorce process. And, kids is probably the biggest piece of this. If you have kids, that transition is still pretty big for them because now you've got a bona fide parenting plan that you're going to implement. And it does provide structure and it does provide a lot of answers for them, which does help them move on more quickly. But at the same time, you got a whole new routine schedule that's going to be coming out, and they're going to be at one parent's house at one point in time and another parent's house at another point in time. So they're going through a huge transition, and depending on their age, if they're younger, it's going to be potentially more challenging, less challenging as they get older, hopefully. But even still, if you have a middle schooler, high schooler kind of setup with kids and ages, they might have a tough time too, because it is very difficult for them to understand how their parents aren't living together anymore. Older kids who have moved out and on their own might be less impactful because of the fact that they might have seen it coming or they're familiar with people who've gotten a divorce, but they're likely just to fall in the category of, hey, they want you to be happy. And so in the end, when you look at the kids, if you can create as much consistency as possible between the two households, that's great. But you don't get to control the other spouse's household. So, and how they do things all the time. That's just how it goes. So it might be a little challenging from time to time. When you look at your friends, they're there for you. They should lean on you. You should lean on them. And in this case, getting out of the divorce process, I'm sure you've been leaning on them a lot this, past time frame, whether it's just breaking down ideas, whether they're giving you thoughts because maybe they went through a divorce themselves. And all in all, what you really want from, your friends is for them to be there for you because they're always wanting you to be the happiest you can be. And when you look at hey, it just didn't work out, they're like, that's okay. Well, get on and get through this kind of thing. But, who knows? Sometimes they provide great insight. Sometimes they're great just to go out with and have a beverage or dinner, share some time with, just to, be there. Doesn't necessarily have to do a whole lot. But, friends are great for that. And then you got family. Maybe you've reconnected. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you have a family who's been highly involved since the beginning of the divorce process. There again, it's another support group, if you will. They're able to watch the kids. They're able to give you time and space free. You're able to go there and not, be alone all the time. You may feel like, hey, I want to be around some people. Family is great for that. So really, when we look at all these transition timeframes, it's for kids, it's for your friends, it's for your family, just doesn't impact you personally 100%. There's a lot of other people outside of you who actually take an interest in you. You might make new friends. It's very possible you're going to come up with new friends because you see new places or you're around different places that you haven't been around before. So when it's all said and done, each piece of this, has its own part in the story that you really get to put together. And with that, I'd like to thank you for joining me on Breaking Ties, a new you after divorce. Appreciate you coming here, and look for my next relationship series video coming out here soon. But if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, have yourself a fantastic day.